Hi, Bernice. So, we got some packages today. It looks like they're from you.
Oh good, they've arrived. I told you about how I'm getting really into minimalism, right? I've got so much stuff I need to get rid of. But it'd be such a waste to just throw it out.
So you decided to send it to us?
Bingo!
I see. Well, the thing is, I've been going through the boxes. And while there are some old clothes and jewelry that are in decent enough shape, there's also a lot of stuff that's ripped or broken.
Well, I just thought it would suit you. Just because I can't use it anymore doesn't mean that no one can put it to good use.
Well, you know our house isn't really all that big. I don't think we really have anywhere to put it. Especially the damaged stuff.
What? Are you saying you're too good for my things? I thought you'd be a little more grateful.
That's not what I'm saying. But we just don't have enough space here. I need to send them back to you. Is that okay?
It's just I noticed that you don't seem to have any half-decent clothes. I'm really just trying to look out for you, Amy. Don't you think it's a little rude to thumb your nose at me like this?
I can appreciate the sentiment, Bernice. But as I said, we don't have space and a lot of it isn't usable. Do you think you could at least give me a heads up before you send anything else? I wasn't really prepared to be dealing with this much unpacking today.
Do you complain this much every time you get a present? I really worry about how well you fit into this family sometimes. Don't you think you could consider my feelings at least a bit?
Sorry, I'm not trying to complain. But I think it's a little difficult for Harry, too, having so much stuff show up all of a sudden. Like I said, there's just nowhere to put it. It's blocking the hall.
You know they say that minimalism is good for you. It feels good getting unneeded stuff out of the house. It also helps you save money, because it stops you from buying things you don't need. It's a positive thing all around.
That only applies to you in this case, though. Please think about our house when you send us this stuff. We're actually getting more cluttered. We're not running a thrift shop or garbage dump or anything over here.
Huh, you could have fooled me from the looks of the place. Anyway, I think it's a bit much to call the stuff I sent garbage. It's just a bit damaged is all. Just do a DIY with it, or whatever it is you kids are doing these days. I'm sure you can figure something out. It just needs some elbow grease.
You know, if that's the case, wouldn't it be just as good if you figured out a way to put them to use?
Then it wouldn't be minimalism. Like I said, those are gifts for you. So please figure something out. It's your stuff now, not my problem.
Very mature. Like I said, we don't have anywhere to put them, so I'm sending them back. Even if we had space for it, we couldn't use any of this stuff. I doubt even the Salvation Army would take them in the state they're in.
If you send them back, you're going to spoil all of my minimalism progress. Didn't I tell you I'm doing this for my health, Amy? There's nothing wrong with that, so don't you go spoiling it. You should be happy to see me keeping myself healthy like this.
I'm very pleased that you're still healthy, Bernice. But you can be healthy without sending all your stuff to my house. If you want to practice minimalism, please leave us out of it. I think you'll be just as minimal if you throw your broken stuff away.
It's too much stuff. What would people think if they saw me throwing away that much stuff?
I really don't think anyone will care, to be honest. Most people are just trying to live their lives and mind their own business. It'd be nice if you worried less about what other people will think and more about what your son and I think. So please do me a favor and come take all this stuff back and throw it away.
I can't believe you're making such a big deal out of this. Or how thoughtless and ungrateful you've been. If you're not careful, you're going to scare Harry off, acting like that. Try to be a little more considerate from now on, please.
Like I said, I appreciate the thought, but unfortunately, we just can't use it. Anyway, I'm just going to send it back if you're not going to come get it.
Just stop! Even if you send it back, I won't accept the packages. They'll just be taken right back to you, so you might as well hold on to them. And I know you wouldn't go so far as to throw away a present that I went through all the trouble of sending you.
That's enough for today. I'm going to talk about this with Harry, okay? I'll message you again tomorrow.
You want to talk with Harry? If that's what you really want, then go for it. I'm sure he'll be really happy to have his time wasted with something like this.
You've sent enough boxes to fill up an entire room. It's not something that I can just sweep under the rug or hide in a closet.
Oh, is that right? I have a feeling he's not really going to care about things like that. But accepting a present from me so ungraciously, on the other hand, I don't think he'll be pleased to hear about that. He might realize that you don't really spark any joy in him anymore. You better watch out, or he might just declutter you.
Well, I guess we'll see. I doubt this conversation is going to spark a lot of joy in either of us.
I've got like 10 missed calls. What's up?
Sorry, I know you're working. I don't want to bother you, but I thought I should warn you before you got home. I thought it would lessen the shock a bit.
It's fine. I'm just about finished anyway. So, what's this about then? A warning sounds a little dire.
Well, your mom has been picking on me again today. But it involves you as well this time. So I thought I should tell you.
Again? She's still not tired of it, huh? What was it last time again? Was that the time she didn't set a place for you at the table when we were there for my birthday?
No, that was before. The most recent thing was those crackers she brought back from her trip to Florida. Mine were all crushed up.
Ah, that's right. I forgot about that. Anyway, what is it this time?
She says she's getting into minimalism or something. So she mailed a bunch of trash to our house. When I say mailed, I mean she rented a U-Haul and hired a driver. When they showed up, they handed me a bill for delivery.
You're kidding. That's a new one. Just when I thought she might be running out of tricks, she pulls out a new one.
Yeah, hilarious. She sent us 6 boxes of garbage. Then she said she wouldn't accept the packages if I tried to send them back. So funny! You know we don't have anywhere to put 6 boxes.
What do you mean by garbage exactly? Like literal trash, or is it things we might be able to use for something?
Ripped up clothes and broken jewelry and stuff like that. It's basically literal trash, if I'm being totally honest. She told me it was a present for me. Can you believe that?
I mean, even if they're ripped, are the clothes still wearable? If so, it's kind of a nice gesture, actually, don't you think?
What? How do you figure? Even if we pretend it was a nice gesture, what are we supposed to do with that much stuff?
Weren't you saying that you wanted to buy new clothes just the other day? Perfect timing, right? That'll lighten up our budget this month as well.
Yeah, except I can't wear any of this stuff. You seem to be enjoying this since it doesn't affect you, but I'm seriously not amused over here.
Oh, come on. It's not like that. I'm just saying I don't think my mom was doing this just to pick on you. It seems like she might have actually been looking out for you in her own way.
I really don't think that's the case. Do you realize how stressful it's been dealing with all of her practical jokes or accidental mishaps until now? You know all about it. You really think she's looking out for me?
Sure, I know what she's done. I guess maybe it is like you said. It hasn't really affected me personally. This kind of thing is a little funny from an outside perspective, you've got to admit.
Oh, really? Is it funny? It's funny to you watching your mom torment your wife. Are you saying you're okay with this continuing? For the laughs?
No, sorry. That didn't come out right.
I think it came out just how you meant it.
Come on, don't pout. But either way, it really isn't that nice to call something trash if it was actually given to you in good faith. I think we have to give her the benefit of the doubt this time, so I'd appreciate it if you figured out something to do with the stuff.
Are you being serious right now? I told you, we literally don't have anywhere to put this much stuff.
What about your office? There's room in there, isn't there? What was it? 6 boxes? I bet you could fit all of it in there.
Yeah, I guess it would technically fit in there. But why should I have to put it all in my office? I work in there.
Well, I don't know what else we can do with it. Besides, she gave it to you. The least you could do is hold on to it.
Why? Wouldn't it be better to just toss it all out? Even if I put it in my office, it's not like we would use it for anything. It's just taking up space. Maybe some of the stuff could be sold for scrap at least. I doubt it would be much, but it sure beats taking up space in the house.
Cut it out, please. It doesn't matter how much stuff or how much it is worth. You can't just sell off stuff that someone just gave you. It's like a slap in the face to their good intentions.
Except there were no good intentions in this case. And another thing I realized recently. You always take your mom's side in these things. You've never taken my side. Not once.
Oh, I just remembered. I have something to tell you. We decided to do a trip this Mother's Day. With Mom. Just letting you know.
That was probably the worst job of changing the subject I've ever seen. I don't care about a Mother's Day trip right now. I'm not done talking about these boxes.
Alright, I got it. I'll talk to my mom about this thing about the boxes, alright? So, now we need to talk about the Mother's Day thing.
The box thing is a real pain for me, so don't just mention it in passing, okay? Like, really tell her. Anyway, sorry. Fine. What's this about a trip?
So she wants to go on a trip with just the two of us. Me and her, I mean. So, do you mind staying home this time?
Really? Now you want to exclude me from the trip. Is there some kind of problem with me going?
She just said that she'd prefer it if it was just the two of us. She is my mother, and it is Mother's Day. It'll be my Mother's Day present to her. So if she wants it to be just the two of us, you could think of staying home as your present to her.
Is that right? So I'm just going to be chucked off to the side this time then, huh? Fine. Go off and enjoy your trip with your precious mother.
Come on, don't get all pouty on me. You say precious mother like it's a bad thing. Plus, it is Mother's Day. Not only that, she's all I have left after my dad passed. I really do need to take care of her. I'm all she has as well.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you took care of your wife at least a little bit first. Not that I actually expect anything from you anymore, mind.
Envy isn't a good color on you, Amy. If you really want to get to the root of it, this whole situation is just because you haven't put in the time to really get on with her. Why can't you just put in a little bit of effort to try and be more agreeable to her?
Excuse me? I'm already putting up with her near constant barrage of abuse and harassment. And now you're telling me that not only do you want me to just take it, you want me to smile and say thank you as well? You're just going to ignore how stressed out and depressed I've been.
I'm not ignoring you. But the thing is, Now, I'm not saying that I have any problem with you, but I just feel very concerned about the way you and my mom get along. I just wish you'd really try to get along with her at least. Like, really try.
Why don't you tell that to your mother then? I've tried. I really have. She's the one who's given absolutely no indication of being willing to get along.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You're just passing the blame. That's your problem. Whatever. First, we're going on this trip next month. Then once we get back, I'm going to start making more time for her. So in the meantime, I think it would be good for you to start thinking of ways that you can meet her halfway and improve this relationship.
Okay, fine. I'll give it some thought.
Hey, are you free right now? I need to talk to you.
Yeah, what's up? Aren't you off on your Mother's Day trip right now? If Bernice sees you giving me any attention, she's gonna get angry at you.
Amy, this really isn't the time for this. Please just listen carefully.
Okay, sorry. What's wrong?
Mom was just taken to the hospital. And it looks like she might have to stay for a while.
The hospital? Oh my goodness, what happened?
She missed a step going down the stairs in front of the hotel. She fell down the whole staircase.
Oh my god. Is she okay?
I told you she's in the hospital, didn't I? They had to rush her to surgery. The good news is that her life doesn't seem to be in any danger. The surgery itself went totally fine.
I see. That's good to hear. I guess that means we're going to be there a while longer than you planned, huh? You can't exactly just come back and leave your mom in a hospital in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be here a few days keeping her company. But the thing is, there is a bit of a problem.
What do you mean? What's the problem?
Well, I guess her age is a big factor. But the doctor told me that her back and her legs are much weaker than they expected. So when you take that and add in this accident, well, they say that she's probably going to have trouble walking by herself from now on.
Really? Are they positive? There's no chance that she'll recover in the future?
It's not a sure thing, so I guess there's a chance, but I guess chances are that she won't recover. Right now, there's no sign of any movement in her lower body, even when she's awake.
Oh man, I see.
So that means that she's going to need to be looked after from now on. There's really just no getting around it. So we're going to have to move in with her when she gets out of the hospital. And I'm really going to be counting on you the most to take care of her.
Whoa there! Hold on just a second. I get the circumstances being what they are. It might be necessary for her to live with us from now on. But what do you mean you're going to be counting on me? It sounds like you're not planning on doing anything.
Well, I've got to work, don't I? You don't. You're at home all day. What do you expect?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. In times like this, we really have to pool all of our resources to get through this together.
Okay, sure. But even saying that, it's not like I have any experience with this kind of thing. Don't you think I'd just get in the way if I tried to help? That's all I mean.
It's not like I have any experience with this kind of thing either. And she's your mother, Harry. Don't talk like this has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I know she's my mother, Amy. Jesus. And as her son, I also have to consider her feelings. She told me that she wants you to take care of her. She told me she doesn't want me to get involved.
Are you serious? What the heck is that? You expect me to just go along with that? This is unbelievable.
Oh, give me a break. Mom's done a lot to help you out as well up until now. Now it's your time to show your appreciation and help her out as well. You can't seriously tell me that you have a problem with that. I mean, seriously, Amy.
She's done a lot to help me out, has she? That's interesting. Because all I can remember is constant complaining, nagging, lying, and harassment.
That was just her trying to close the gap between you. She didn't mean anything bad by it.
Oh, is that right? What about when she called me a hussy and poured wine on my white dress? She didn't mean anything bad by it? Even if you try and call it a joke, it doesn't make it funny and I'm not laughing.
You seemed perfectly happy keeping your distance from her. I know you didn't like her for whatever reason. But she tried the best she could in her own way to get close to you. The dress thing was a joke. You know she's got a strange sense of humor.
No, this whole situation is a joke and I'm still not laughing. If all the things that she's done could be chalked up as just jokes, there would be no need for police in this country. Everything and anything would just be written off as a joke. Assault? Just a prank, bro. Murder? Hilarious!
Oh, come off it, Amy. Honestly, there's a limit to how much of this I can listen to. Besides, this is already settled. It's final. No matter what you say, we're moving in with her and you're going to be the one to take care of her. Do you get that?
So, that's how it is, huh? Fine. I got it.
Good. Then I suggest you start packing and getting everything ready for the move. As soon as Mom's condition stabilizes a bit more, we're going to move her to a hospital closer to the house. I'll come back home at that time as well.
So, what should I do about that nice gift that she sent us? You know, the boxes of crap that are filling up my office. I guess suddenly it's okay to throw those away?
Well, Mom said that she didn't need any of that stuff anymore from the beginning, right? If that's the case, there's no point in bringing them back to her house. So I guess there shouldn't be any problem if you toss them.
So you're saying I have permission to throw it all out? All the stuff that she gave me? Everything?
Yeah, what did I just say? What is up with you?
I'm just making sure. Wouldn't want there to be any misunderstanding later.
Okay then. Weirdo.
Is there anything else? Does Bernice need anything?
Not that I can think of. She was all packed up for a trip anyway, so I think we've already got most of what she needs sorted. She's got enough clothes at least. If she needs anything else, I'll buy it on my way home.
Okay, got it. In that case, I'll start getting ready for the move.
Thank you. Hey. So they finally decided when they're going to transfer her to a hospital back home. So I just went back to the house.
Oh, is that right? Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. So anyway, what the heck is this exactly?
What do you mean? Is something the matter?
Is something the matter? The whole house is empty. What the hell is going on?
Did you forget already? You told me to get everything ready for the move.
No, I remember. That's exactly what I said. Get ready for the move, not actually move everything. Mom's not even coming home yet, so you couldn't have taken everything there. And yet the house is empty. So I'll ask again. What the hell is going on? Where is everything?
Ah, that's what you mean. I got into minimalism myself while you were away. I'll let you two take care of the rest.
What? Minimalism? You mean like what Mom was talking about last month? I don't get it. What are we supposed to take care of? Me and Mom?
I mean exactly what I said. Minimalism means getting rid of all the stuff that you don't need. So I did exactly that. I removed everything I didn't need from my life, including you and your mom. Got it?
What? You're saying you've removed us from your life? What are you talking about? I don't think I'm following.
Your mom told me that minimalism isn't just for cleaning, it's also for your health. I told you I was feeling pretty stressed and down recently, so I thought it would be good for me to try getting rid of things I don't need. You know, for my health. And I realized the things in my life that I needed the least of all were you and your mother. So I decided to get rid of you guys right away. In case you're still not following, I don't mean literally like get rid of you. I'm not going to throw you in the garbage can or anything like that. You're probably too heavy for me to move.
Yeah, I get that you're not going to throw me in a garbage can. Thanks.
I just mean that I'm divorcing you.
Whoa, hold on! What's this about a divorce all of a sudden? I don't understand. I told you that my mother needs to be looked after from here on out. I don't know if this is what you think passes for a joke, but it's really not the time.
There should be a small box in the living room. Did you see it? You'll find divorce papers inside. I've already signed them. Go ahead and take them to a lawyer if you want to, but I think the terms are fair. After you're done, please sign them and file them.
Is this for real? You really want a divorce?
Go look in the box and see for yourself. It's all there, just like I said.
Yeah, I can see it. You've really chosen the worst possible timing for this. You know that, right? Why did you have to do this now of all times? The timing is honestly the most shocking part of everything.
What are you talking about? There's literally no other time to do this. If I don't do it right now, it won't happen.
But my mother just had an accident and needs to be taken care of. You know that. We've talked about it. How can you even consider getting a divorce right now? You're really so selfish that you're going to leave right now when we need you the most?
Hey, I've put up with your mother's harassment for a long time. I've talked with you about it I don't even know how many times now. You can't pretend like you don't know that I felt very personally persecuted by her.
Okay, so we've talked about that. You think that that makes it okay for you to divorce me and run off at this critical time?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. And not just okay, absolutely necessary. I've just been putting up with it, becoming more and more stressed and more depressed. I reached my limit a long time ago, if we're being honest. But I loved you, so I just kept putting up with it. Because I knew that if I didn't put up with it, that was it for us. Our marriage would be finished.
What you're saying and what you're doing is not matching up at all right now. It sounds like you're saying you don't want our marriage to be over. So what are you doing? Let's just keep going like we have been. Why do we need to get divorced now?
You're the one who's brought me to this point. No matter what I said or how worried I was, you always took her side. And then after all of that, you want me to spend the next God knows how long looking after the woman who's done nothing but torment me up until now? Are you even listening to yourself? Do you even know what you're asking me? There's no way I can do that.
So then why didn't you just say that from the beginning? We don't have to get divorced over it. If you have something to say, then you should just say it.
I told you! You just ignored me and decided everything by yourself. You're the one who just decided we were going to move in with her without asking me. You decided I was going to take care of her, and without any help. If you have something to say, you should just say it? Are you kidding me right now? I didn't get married just so that I could watch over you and your mother. I have my own life, you know.
Okay, well, even so. It doesn't mean you have to jump straight to divorce, does it? We're supposed to be partners. You always talked to me when you had a problem up until now, right? That's how we're supposed to handle things. But instead, you just went and got divorce papers made up without talking to me at all. It seems a little rich to be blaming me for making decisions on my own, all things considered.
Well, here's the thing. Has anything good ever come from me talking to you? Has it ever helped anything, even once? No, not even once. All you ever told me was that it didn't involve you directly. And then you laughed about it.
Okay, you're right. I shouldn't have done that. But I don't think something like that really merits this kind of huge reaction. Those were just little jokes from my mother. You get that, right? The punishment doesn't really fit the crime here.
Yeah, you always say that. Her bullying is just her strange sense of humor. How about this then? You can just think of our divorce as my own strange sense of humor. That should be easy for you to understand, right? You've got to allow everyone their strange little jokes.
Be serious. I think you need to take some time to cool off. You're clearly hysterical. Let's just set aside this talk of divorce for the time being until tempers have cooled. If you go through with things in this state, you're only going to regret it.
I'm certain that I won't. You and your mother are nothing but a source of misery and harm for me. If you ask me to look at all the things in my life and remove whatever doesn't spark joy, you and your mother are the first things on the chopping block. Far from regretting it, all I'm going to feel when this is over is a long-deserved sense of relief. So that's it. I'm out.
You know what? You're right. I think I made too light of your problems. I should have taken them more seriously, and I'm so sorry. But right now, we're at a critical point, not just for us as a couple, but as an entire family. This is exactly the kind of time where it's important for us to work together to overcome everything.
You and your mom can work together and overcome everything by yourselves. I've had my fill. I don't want anything more to do with it. Just leave me out of it.
Amy! I'm trying to be as kind and reasonable as possible right now, so you could at least listen to what I have to say. You know I can't keep this up forever. Don't wear my patience too thin.
So what? Just because you unload some weak apology, I'm supposed to just forgive you? And then what? Then I spend my foreseeable future taking care of a woman I can't stand? Come on, Harry. Wake up.
That's your duty as a member of this family. I have to work so you're the only one who can take care of her. Isn't it a wife's job to do the things that her husband can't? We're supposed to make up for each other's weaknesses and form a stronger whole. This isn't the time for you to start being selfish. Divorce is completely out of the question.
But you told me I had permission to get rid of everything that Bernice gave me. Don't you remember? I made sure there were no misunderstandings. Now I'm just doing exactly what we talked about. I'm getting rid of all the stuff that she gave me. You explicitly okayed it, so I don't think you have any room to complain now.
What? That's supposed to include me then, I guess? I think you need to get some help if that's how you think of me. I'm not just a thing to be thrown away like some old clothes.
I wonder how you think of me exactly. It seems like you just think of me as someone you can half listen to and then use for whatever purpose you want. I don't want to live with someone who thinks of me like that.
Seriously, you need to rethink all of this. Even if we get divorced right now, it's not going to fix anything. And you'll definitely regret this if you go through with it. And it's not something you'll be able to just take back.
There's nothing to rethink. Like I said, I'm just cutting the unnecessary things out of my life. And at the same time, I can give your mother back all the useless crap that she gave to me. Think of it this way. You can finally go back to your precious mother.
Harry told me what happened. So, you think you can just divorce my son just like that? You think anyone is going to allow that to happen?
This is between me and Harry. It's got nothing to do with you, Bernice, so kindly keep your nose out of it.
It has everything to do with me. I need you to take care of me. That's your duty as my son's wife. Don't you feel any shame at trying to run off at a time like this?
You want to talk to me about shame? That's rich. You, who wants to force the woman you've been tormenting for years to watch over you every waking moment?
Don't even try and quibble with me, Amy. I'm really not in the mood. Do you have any idea what kind of hardships I'm in for from now on? And you want to just leave me to fend for myself? I didn't think even you could be so cold-hearted.
Bernice, think about what you're saying. There's no one in this world who has your best interests in mind as much as I do.
Now who's being rich? If you really want to keep my best interests in mind, then you'll put a stop to this divorce foolishness immediately. You have a responsibility to take care of me. See it through.
But Bernice, you hate me.
Oh, please. I've never said any such thing. If I hated you, I would never have dedicated so much time to your improvement.
You didn't need to say it. Your behavior speaks loudly enough. No one in their right mind would treat someone the way you treat me unless they hated them.
Even if it were true, what does that have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with you getting divorced.
Well, it can't be comfortable living under constant threat that the woman you hate is going to steal away your son's affections. I thought we could use this as a good chance for me to give him back to you for good. I should think you would be way happier this way. I mean, you love your son so much that it drives you to torment the woman you think is going to take him from you after all.
I've never said anything of the sort. And you're already married to him. What do I have to fear? Now, are you quite finished with all this drivel? It's not going to get you out of your responsibilities, you know. I've spent so much time trying to improve you up until now. You owe me. And you can pay me back by taking care of me from now on. Time to pay the piper, Amy.
Nice try, Bernice. But really, you really need to think about this properly. If I were to take care of you, it means you're going to have to be with me around the clock, every waking second.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. As long as every waking second of that is you finally doing your duty to me. Honor thy parents. Ring any bells?
You really think you can deal with that kind of stress? You were going through all the trouble of minimalism to take care of your health, remember? That constant stress of being around me can't be good for you.
That's why I'm telling you to do your duty and work to keep me healthy. Are you even listening to what I'm saying to you?
Let me remind you, Bernice. You hate me. How many times do we need to go over this? Being around someone you hate all the time can't do anything but wear on you. Rather than put you through all that, I'm going to help you out with your minimalism instead. Just like you wanted.
No, let me remind you. I can't walk on my own anymore. Can you really live with yourself if you abandon me like this? How does that reflect on you as a wife, as a person?
But I wasn't the one who abandoned you. You're the one who weaponized your minimalism against me in the first place. You're the one who abandoned me first.
Even if that's so, I've changed my mind in the time since. Now you're one of the most precious people in the whole world to me. I'd like you to think of me just like I was your own flesh and blood from here on out. And as such, I need you to put your all into my care from here on out.
I think it's a little late for that at this stage. Remember when you suggested Harry might declutter me someday? You seemed absolutely tickled with yourself. I'd hope you would find it equally funny with the shoe on the other foot. Not this pathetic begging and scrambling for excuses. It's unbecoming. And you can't honestly think it's going to work.
Amy, I've heard enough. You need to get your act together right this instant. I've let things slide up until now because you were my daughter-in-law, but I've hit my limit. No matter how you want to spin it, your attitude is absolutely abhorrent. At the end of the day, I am still your mother-in-law and you have a responsibility to me.
But that's just the thing. I don't think of you as my mother-in-law anymore. As far as I'm concerned, you're nothing but clutter in my life that needs to be removed. Do you understand? You're useless.
So that's how you speak to someone with a disability. Like I said, your attitude is absolutely abhorrent.
No, abhorrent is the way that you've been treating me all these years. But I think beneath all this bluster, realization is starting to sink in. But even more, you're realizing that that realization has come too late.
It seems like you're the one realizing something. How else can you explain how you let yourself get so carried away berating someone of my advanced years? And disabled to boot. It's you. You're the one who hates me. Isn't that right?
Well, you could hardly imagine that I would want to remove someone that I actually liked from my life. But that goes both ways, doesn't it?
That's how you speak to your mother-in-law. You know, there are things that you should and shouldn't say out loud, Amy. You should have figured this out by your age.
And what about you? By your age, shouldn't you have figured out that there are things you should and shouldn't do to your son's wife? If you can't figure out something like that after all of your years of experience, there's probably just no helping you. You can hardly blame me for wanting to take you out of my life. Keeping someone like that around goes against the whole philosophy of minimalism. Thank you, Bernice. After that, Harry and Bernice resisted the divorce as strongly as they could. They had no choice but to take it to court. They claimed that I had no justifiable reason to seek divorce. But given the evidence of their behavior, the court ultimately ruled in my favor. The divorce proceeded against their will, alimony was settled, and Harry was ordered to cover all of my legal costs. Saddled with his new alimony and legal bills in addition to a mother in need of care, Harry had quite a difficult road ahead of him. In the beginning, he had no choice but to hire a caretaker for Bernice. But being the woman that she was, she couldn't keep herself from tormenting every caretaker that came exactly the same as she used to torment me. Finally, word got around and no one was willing to take the job anymore. Harry had no choice but to reduce his working hours and take care of her himself, dipping them both into borderline poverty. They say a leopard never changes its spots. I don't know if that's true, but I do think it's a little late for Bernice to change at this point in her life. And with that in mind, I wake up every day and thank heaven for my divorce. I've got to hand one thing to her. Minimalism really is good for your health.